Happy Monday, everybody. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are safe and I hope that you are healthy. I'm getting a little tongue-tied on that word. Happy, healthy, safe. I'm just going to be sharing this, so pardon my little glance down here. But today we're going to be talking about the secrets to doing it your way. I think this is so critical right now. Too many times I'm seeing people just like, oh, well, like, what's the secret? What's the magic path to getting things, to becoming a success, to bringing my business online? And I want to share with you how to do this your way. So I'm just going to share this to a couple of groups like mine over in Entrepreneurs Making an Impact. Let's see. It's always like so many steps, I feel. Secrets to doing it your way. So this is exactly what we're going to be talking about, how to do it your way, instead of trying to look at other people and say, oh, that must be how I'm supposed to do it. Like, look at where they are. When I was doing leadership executive coaching, one of the things, and like we would do like these 360s, and one of the things that I saw that was so common, hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm always just like amazed where people are like tapping in from, and just I want to be able to say hi to you. Hello, Sandy. Sandy is joining us. She is in, are you in Minnesota or are you in Florida? I got a feeling you are in Minnesota these days. So where was I? I was talking about like doing things our way. So with my executive coaching days, one of the things, the patterns that I saw over and over and over again was that leaders would they would look up and figuring the way that they were, their style, their attitude, the way that they led, their leadership style, if you will, if that got them there, if that got them to that level of success, that must mean that's what I'm supposed to do. And it would, no, no is the short answer. I would always work on, one of the number one things that I would work on them with is to come up with their own style. And that kind of means putting on like the blinders, kind of like how they do with racehorses. And let's go inward to figure out what's your style. That's what I would get them to ask themselves. What's my style of leadership? If I had to use like 3 words or 3 phrases, what would be my style of leadership? So if you're like watching this and you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, let me know, like, if you had to put into 3 words, what's your style? What's your unique entrepreneurial style? Type that in below because I want to celebrate that with you. And let's just see, like, different people are going to have different combinations. And that's what's so wonderful about this. And Linda is coming in from Bedford, New Hampshire. Hello, Linda. It's nice to see you. Although I did leave you a message earlier today. I thought you were at the Seacoast. Just a little giveaway. If you're following me in my Facebook group or on Instagram, it is not uncommon to get a voice DM from me. That sort of sounds a little weird, voice DM. But I go into Messenger and I will leave voice messages for people because 1, I care, and 2, I am happy that you're following me, and I always want to know like what can I do for you? Like, what, do you have any stumbling blocks right now? Because right now with this whole pandemic of uncertainty, it is bringing up a lot of uncertainty with people, and I love to brainstorm and love to help you like come up with that path. So today's topic is like, we're like figuring out like what is that secret to doing it your way. So I've got 3 steps for this, and already shared like the leadership style is, 1, I want you to stop looking at others and just focus on yourself. So that means, if that means putting on your blinders like they do with horses, so that, and the reason why the race horses have the blinders on is so that they can't see the other horses or anything that's around them to distract them. It is to make the horse focus forward. because that's where we want the horse to go. Go as fast forward as possible. And that's exactly what you need to do as well. We've got to put the blinders on, stop looking around at people that are around us. You've heard me say over and over again, stop judging your backstage to somebody else's front stage. What's that mean? Stop watching like the way that somebody else is doing things. Like let's just take for example, launching a program. Stop looking at the way that they're launching a program and you're seeing their success and the way that they do things. And you think, oh, I could never launch like that. I could never be successful. So then you don't even launch. And really what's getting in the way? There's just a little touch of fear in there, wouldn't you say? Or do you think it's a big dose of fear? Let me know. Hello, Christina. It's nice to see you. What's the weather like down where you are these days? Right now it is rainy, cold, and windy up here. So one is to put your blinders on. So here's a great exercise and experiment, if you will, so that you could see exactly, really, like, let's experience this thing about focusing on your path and keeping your eyes on the target. So you can either do like a quad stretch and a standing quad stretch, where you're standing and you're like holding like your ankle from behind, or you can just like just to balance on one leg, so you can either like lift your leg up high, you can bend it, whatever you'd like. But with your hands, you can't be holding on to anything, okay? And so what I want you to do, so here's the experiment. I want you to see what happens when you like look around the room, so that means looking up, down, like just sporadic, just keep shifting your eyes, shifting your head so that you're looking at different focal points and see what happens. And then after you pick yourself up from falling on the floor, by the way, don't hurt yourself, by the way, when you do this experiment. Then I want you to do it one more time. And I want you to focus on something. Focus on something that's stationary, not something else that's moving. So don't make it your cat or your pet dog or, somebody else that's another human being that's in the house. Focus on something that's still. Do the exact same pose, the exact same stretch, and see what happens. I bet you, because I know, because I've done this, and I've done this, I've had, run this experiment like in groups of people, like for years. When you focus on one thing, your body will stay still. And the same thing is true for your business. When you focus on the task, when you focus on the goal, and you stop getting distracted by looking around at all the other different things or the other different people that are online to see what they're doing and trying to mimic what they're doing, just focus on your path. You will get there so much faster, so much faster. So one of those things that might be watching other people, you're doing the social media scroll. You're on Instagram. I mean, just notice inside like how it makes you feel when you start seeing some of the people that maybe you're following, that you admire. Oh, they're launching again. Check in with yourself. Check in and see if it's making you feel a little uneasy. Because that's kind of a sign of, hey, if you're not feeling good about what you're doing and you're not feeling good about your business and the progress that you're making, then let's check in with ourselves and say, hey, maybe I should limit the amount of time that I spend on social media. Little side note, not my social media engagement does not look the same every single day. There are days where I only look at it at night. There are days where I start my morning off and I'll really engage for however amount of time that I've allotted, like on my calendar. And there are some other days, it might be a couple of times a day, but I'm always like checking in with myself. Like, is this making me feel good or is it making me feel bad about myself? Is it making me second guess the strategy that I already have planned out for myself? Is it making me second guess executing on that plan? Because if it is, whatever it is, whether you're looking at Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're going to, once upon a time, we used to go to meetings. We just haven't in a little while. But if it doesn't feel good or it's making you second guess things, then I want you to just like, whoa, stop. It's almost like that stop, roll, stop and listen and get back on track. Say, where are my blinders? Oh, that's right, I left them at home. Oh, I forgot to put them on today. Yeah, let's put those blinders back on. So number one, I want you to stop looking at others. Stay focused on your task. Okay, number two. How many of you guys have been like doing social media scroll and then before you know it, it's like, wow, it's been 45 minutes and I'm just coming up for air. Number two is to change your perspective. If you knew that you were doing it right and that you were going to succeed, how would that impact your actions? So I'm talking about like mindset. So neck up, controls the neck down. If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you are doing, you're doing it right, what would that kind of perspective do for you? Share with me below. Just let me know, what would that kind of perspective do for you? I know for my private clients, really it makes a shift. We show up differently. When we know, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right. I'm showing up right. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know that this is right for my business. Nobody else can tell you exactly what to do for your business. It's like within you. If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you're doing right now is the exact right thing that you should be doing for you, that shift will change things. And let's see, Linda says, success builds success. So having that success mindset, having that success perspective that you are doing it right. And when you're doing it right, you show up differently. You want to be there in your business. You want to show up for your audience. You want to show up for yourself. So I want you to change that perspective. I remember years ago when I started my coaching business, I just want to read some of these. Sandy says, it would build momentum. It would build momentum in you. Yes, it would. And, with that, taking a little dose of courage to follow through with your plan helps build the confidence. And the confidence in what I'm doing right. Let's see. Sarah says she still struggles with the if I knew without a doubt. I know it's hard. It's not the easy stuff because our brains are designed to always look for danger. Two, there is more negative in the world. And the reason why some of these happy moments of these amazing, things that companies are doing, things that just human beings are doing to help other people. The reason why those things are standing out so much in the news is one, because when we see it, we're sharing it on social media. And it's because it stands out. It's just wow, I want to share this good news with everybody, that not everything is so virus and pandemic. So it's a shift. But Sarah, when you do come from that point of view of, if you did know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was going to work out, how do you show, what does your energy look like? And it just baffles me. Sometimes when I actually think about this, how I think about how I show up when I know versus the I don't know Laurie-Ann. The scared Laurie-Ann versus the I'm in here. I'm all in. I know this is going to work out. Maybe not in my time. And when I say not my time, not my timeline, because sometimes we want things and I call it the McDonald's effect. I want things right now. And sometimes it doesn't always happen that way. But changing that perspective of, if I knew that what I was doing was right, not 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 second guessing yourself, but everything that I'm doing in my business is right. What does that change for you in your body, your energy, and how you show up? And like, I know for me, it helps me show up unbelievable. And when I show up, like, in this, like, very peak form, and like, I see this shift in my clients too, that when they can shift to that energy of, I know that I'm doing this right. I know that this is going to work out, and things do work out because they play at a higher level, a higher game. And that energy is like that. I, I give my best talks. I just, like, last week I spoke to 2 different entrepreneurial classes for a university that's in Boston. And of course, the university may be, one of their campuses may be in Boston, but the students are literally, they were all sent home. So I was speaking to a global market, 2 different classes, and just, like, like, when I show up and I know that, like, I'm giving really good information, and the information that I'm giving when I teach from this place of I'm doing it right, I give really great information. And I have so much fun doing it also. So not only are you having fun and you show up, but it's also a hell of a lot more enjoyable too. So that's number 2. I want you to change your perspective. And number 3, I've just kind of, like, already, like, touched on it. It's showing up for yourself. And this is a tough one. And because this showing up for yourself, when you do this over and over again, it builds this inner trust with yourself. Let me give you an example. It's New Year's. People make that, I'm going to start going to the gym because I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get healthy, that resolution. And we all know what happens with those resolutions, like, quickly within a couple of weeks, like, half the people, I can't remember, it's like a crazy amount of people, they've completely abandoned their resolution. And I think doing those sort of things over and over again, that's what starts to weaken our trust. So you're thinking about joining a program, you're thinking about hiring a coach, but then you start to remember, oh yeah, remember that book that I bought and I didn't even finish reading it. Remember that time that, like, I bought that program and I haven't even finished it. I think I only got to, like, module 2. Those little things eat away at us. So being able to trust ourselves that we are people of our word. One of my, Diane, who used to work for me, they're in lockdown in New Zealand, and she sent me a message saying that, one, they're getting a lot of stuff done around the house, but she's also using this time wisely and finishing programs that she bought and she's never finished. So besides the exercise gym, analogy, I had a friend who used to complain about their sister. Their sister used to make plans. They used to, like, she enjoyed spending time with her. She would make plans with her, but her sister would, like, constantly cancel at the last minute. And when this happened, like, over and over again, she finally got to the point where she actually made backup plans. And really, the backup plan became the main plan because she knew that her sister would eventually just cancel out on her. So that just, like, that kills that trust. That I know I'm going to make plans with my sister, and that could be, like, your best friend, it could be somebody that you're dating, and you know that they're not going to be true to their word. Why are we the easiest person to lie to? Because we just, like, we make it okay. It's okay that I don't go to the gym today. It's okay that, like, all right, like, like, I'll start my diet again next week. I know I said I wanted to read a book a month. I know I said that I was going to do a Facebook Live, once a week, and I haven't been doing it. We're really easy to let ourselves go, let ourselves off the hook. So I think that's number 3, is showing up for yourself. So don't make it some big monstrous, like, oh my God, I got to do, like, the perfect Facebook Live every single week. And then I have to do it on Instagram go easy on yourself, especially as you're starting to build that self-trust muscle, is to make it easy. So maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to do a Facebook Live, but I don't expect it to be perfect the first time. I am going to put myself out there. I'm going to write up some notes. I'm going to let people know that I'm going live at a certain time, at a certain date. I'm going to have a show. This is exactly what I'm doing here. It's exactly what, like I know some other people that are watching right now are doing their shows. Did you know that Facebook Live usage is up 50%? By the way, I just thought I'd throw that little stat in there. Make it easy on yourself. Say, I'm going to do a 10-minute live. It doesn't have to be a half-hour live. It doesn't even have to be a 45-minute live. Make it 10 minutes. Maybe you say, like, you know what? I'm going to engage on Facebook, or I'm going to engage on social media, whether that's LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. I mean, there's so many different ones. Maybe I'm going to make a video. I'm going to start writing a blog. I'm going to show up on some of these virtual networking events and get to know some other people. I'm going to reach out to people. And if you have to write this stuff down on like some sort of a sticky or a notepad so that you have something to check off, that dopamine rush when we check things off, do that. But be the sort of person that if you make the commitment in the beginning of the morning or in the evening for the next day, that you're the sort of person like, I do this. So that you build up that trust in yourself, so that you will show up. Because then that will lead to the perspective change of, if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you were doing right. You were doing it right. And that's also then going to lead to, it's so much easier to put the blinders on and stop looking at other people, because you will have known that you have made some progress in moving forward. Does that make sense, you guys? Anybody have any questions? I've been just chit-chatting away here, and let me just check to see if you guys have any questions. Oops. I accidentally am turning this on my iPad. Can't really see the comments there, but let me know if you have any questions. And if this is like something that's like foreign to you, and you're just like, I'm not sure that I can do this. Let's jump on a call together. Like I know, like looking at the list of people who've already made some comments, I know that most of you have been on a call with me, and you know what it's like when we get on a call. I have some great ideas and some great strategy, and ask some great questions that really opens the door. So if you're lacking some trust in yourself, if you want a perspective change, if you want to figure out how to put those blinders on, book a call with me. Let me drop that link right here on the screen so that you can go to bit.ly/chatwithla, and we will we'll talk about you and your business, especially during these uncertain times. And also, if you're new to my Facebook Live show, make sure you hit subscribe so that you always get notified when I am going live. So I'm live on my business page, and then I send it over to my group, Entrepreneurs Making an Impact. And there is a special training that's going to be coming up in the very, very, very near future, and that's going to be inside Entrepreneurs Making an Impact. That's where like all the great information is. That's where I share everything first so that people that are in my group, Entrepreneurs Making an Impact, get the very first dibs on all of that information, because I figured like, hey, you're hanging around with me in my group and we're all in this together. So let's see. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Juliana says, I missed it again. I was chasing the QuickBooks scammers. Oh, that's terrible. We don't like that. We don't like scammers. All right, you guys. So if you don't have any questions about what we were talking about today, just to kind of recap, we were talking about the secrets of doing it right, of doing it your way. And one is stay focused, put your blinders on, and stop looking at what other people are doing. Stop comparing your backstage to other people's front stage. Number two is changing that perspective. Having that perspective of what it would be like if you absolutely knew that what you were doing it right. You weren't doing it wrong, you were doing it right. Everything that you're doing it right. And number 3 is showing up for yourself so that you build that self-trust with yourself, which then helps you with knowing and having that perspective change and knowing and believing that what you're doing it right. Love you guys. I hope you're all well, safe, healthy, and happy. And come on and hang out with me over at Entrepreneurs Making an Impact and get on my email list. And we're all in this together, and let's just have some fun. And I will see you next Monday. I'm not quite sure what my topics are going to be. Normally, I'm really, really good at planning all this stuff out, but because of the pandemic and things changing daily, if not sometimes it feels like hourly, I've been just kind of figuring out like what does my audience need, and just kind of like I poke around on Facebook inside the group and I just kind of like listen. I listen to what people need. So you guys all have a great week. I will see you very soon.